Good morning, everyone.
USA Radio News, West Texas.
A little bit of a late start this morning, but good morning.
After defeating the Atlanta Hawks Saturday night 118-107 in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
What do people think about that? The Milwaukee Bucks versus the Phoenix Suns in the final. What do people think about that?
I'm Dan Naraki.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
Red mic.
Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro News, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Middleboro in Review. Today, it's July 4th, 2021. It's the 4th of July today. And sitting across from me is Don. Good morning.
Happy birthday, America. 245 years old today.
Yes. While I get the weather up, switch over to Don real quick. He has a couple important announcements.
I just wanted to run by everybody, and I'm sure everyone knows, which is a reminder. The move over law is very important, especially at this time with the traveling. This is the big first holiday that's everything's pretty much open since the pandemic. So there's a lot of traffic on the road, and plus the weather isn't really the best too. It's been rainy and overcast and whatnot. But the move over law is very important for emergency vehicles, fire trucks, police cars, even the tow trucks and the service trucks taking care of it, disabled motorists. It's very important to move over or slow down. And if you're in the left lane, try to let the people in the right lane move over if possible. Kind of stay in tune. We want the people who work on the side of the highway, especially the state troopers and the police and the fire department, and anybody who works on the highway, to come home for their families, their loved ones. It's very important. You see the crosses all over the highways, and it's sometimes it's mostly tow truck drivers who get hit too. They think some people might move over for the police and the fire, but they don't move over for the tow trucks and the service vehicles, taking care of disabled vehicles. It's very important to move over. It's just everyone wants to go home safe, and it's pretty close. I mean, if you ever broke down on the highway and cars flying by in your lane doing 75, 80 miles an hour, it's pretty scary. So, and the state troopers out there, especially the state troopers, who have to be out there pulling people over for speeding, which is unnecessary in my opinion. You just put everyone at risk. You put yourself at risk, and the most likely you're putting the state trooper at risk. There's no need of it. 65 miles an hour is the speed limit. Most people do 70. There's no need to do 80, 85. I'm not preaching to the choir. I mean, no one wants to hear me preach, but it's just the move. Just try to remember to move over. That's all I'm really saying to the listeners here. It's very important. So they went home safe.
All right, we have the weather up now. Thank you, Don, for that important announcement. This is very important, to talk about.
Especially this weekend, especially with everything opening up. This is the first big holiday since the end of the pandemic that most people are out. So just got to try to remember that.
So yeah, you were mentioning the rain. It is rainy out there. Not raining currently right now, but it is wet. That may affect 4th of July events tonight. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But it is wet outside. No rain forecasted for today, but it will be cloudy most of the day today. So I think town officials will be looking at, town and surrounding city officials will be looking at what to do with the 4th of July events. tonight, if it does rain or if it clears up in time. I am not sure, but I'm sure city and town officials are looking at that now. So currently, I think a lot of the 4th of July stuff is a go until said otherwise. So, of course, just keep an eye on the internet and your local news as well, and they'll have announcements on that. But weather, right now, 57 degrees, a cool Sunday morning in July. 67 for the high today. Tomorrow, 76. Tomorrow is the holiday. Oh, the observed holiday. So, most town halls, I guess, will be closed, and some other things as well will be closed. We will be on the air tomorrow. Tony Lopes will be coming in tomorrow, so we'll be on the air. Tony Lopes will have the morning wake-up news tomorrow morning.
Chris is on vacation this week, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So Tony is doing the news tomorrow, and I think Jim DuPont will be coming in as well. So we'll have our regular Monday programming.
I think you just add that our regular program's going on today. Jim's coming.
Yes, our regular programming is going on today, except for Stand Up Strong. They will not be on this afternoon at 2 o'clock. So programming today will end at 2 o'clock.
And you got a special treat because you hang out with Jim between 12 and 2
Yes.
in the studio as he does his show, right?
Yes, I am.
So, stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, all right?
Taunton, 57 degrees, 67 for the high. Rain is in the forecast for Taunton, so that might factor into things, but I don't think it's going to factor in too much to Taunton's plans because Taunton usually has fireworks in August, not July. They have not had a fireworks display on the 4th for a couple of years. They usually do that towards the end of the summer. There is an event that happens, and that's where the fireworks happen in Taunton. But this may affect, some other events going on around town, around the city, I mean. The barbecues, if anyone's going to a barbecue, maybe that will affect that. So
the parade's tomorrow.
Keep an eye on the weather in Taunton. And yes, in Middleboro, the parade that was scheduled for Saturday is now going to be Monday, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Anyone who is in the area and wants to go check out the parade, do so.
It might be more people there because they had it on Saturday. It's technically not a work day, but a lot of people do work on Saturday, half days or whatnot, because it's not technically a real holiday. But tomorrow is
Monday is the holiday.
Yeah, tomorrow's a federal holiday.
Yeah.
Everything's closed. I mean, as far as any municipality, anything, so, and all banks are closed, whatnot. Yep. So maybe more people will come to that parade. And Paul's gonna be at that parade, right?
He said he was going to probably show up as well.
We should try to contact Paul and maybe we can hang out with him and we can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I haven't been to that parade in so long.
Driscoll, Texas, 76 degrees, sunny, and 91 for the high today. Rain in the forecast. Rain pretty much in the forecast all week. The rain is just kind of continuing in Driscoll, Texas. I think last week we said the same thing, that it was going to rain all week. It is pretty much going to rain all week in Driscoll, Texas. 91 for the high today, 91 for the high tomorrow. Rain breaks on Saturday, next Saturday, and you'll see some sun on Sunday in Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, 71 degrees. 94 for the high. Nice and sunny today, so it is a beautiful 4th of July in Driscoll, North Dakota. and 91 tomorrow. So this is going to be a beautiful next couple of days for Driscoll, North Dakota.
Sounds hot. Sounds a little hot.
What is going on for sports? I'm going to do sports real quick here. Get that out of the way. So the Red Sox have a game today at 4:07. So that will be a 4th of July game for the Red Sox this year. The Red Sox take on the Athletics. 4:07 p.m. first pitch. And then tomorrow, the Red Sox take on the Angels, who are making the news because of their pitcher, Shohei Ohtani, who is having an amazing season this year. So we'll see if we face him in this series coming up. Angels versus Red Sox, starting tomorrow. So, so the Red Sox will look to win today. They lost yesterday in 12 innings to the Oakland Athletics, 7-6. The Worcester Red Sox take on the... One second here, let me see. The Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. That takes place at 6:35 p.m. tonight. And then after the game, I believe there will be fireworks there as well. So anyone going to the Worcester Red Sox game this evening will have fireworks to look forward to after the game this evening. The Milwaukee Bucks beat the Atlanta Hawks 118-107. They are in the final. They take on the Phoenix Suns. This is going to be an interesting final. The Bucks, it's the first time that they've made the final since, and they said it on the news. They said it on the USA Radio News. I think that's the mid-70s. I'm not exactly sure what year. But the mid-70s, so it's been a while that Milwaukee has been here. And Phoenix, it's been a while since... I don't know if Phoenix has ever been here. So, this is two teams that haven't been in this situation in a long time. So, this is going to be a fun NBA Finals. And in the Stanley Cup, we're not being treated to a fun final. We're being treated to a pretty dominated final by the Lightning. Tomorrow night in Montreal could be a very bad night for the Montreal Canadiens fans because they may be witnessing a sweep. I think it's going to happen too. The Lightning have been very, very good in this series. The Canadiens just don't have any answers. I don't know. They just don't have any answers. Hopefully, they can play well. I mean, Corey Price is one of the big reasons why the Canadiens are here. And Corey Price has not played well. He's not been playing well. He's been giving up way too many goals. And I think it continues tomorrow. And the Canadiens lose a quick Stanley Cup final, 4-0. And they go back to the drawing board. The Lightning, this is their time. They are in the cusp of winning 2 Stanley Cups in under 1 year. The 2020 season, it had ended. It started and ended rather quick. And the Lightning, they won that. And then the 2021 season started quickly after the 2020 season ended. And the Lightning have continued to dominate the NHL. So we'll see what happens going forward. Lightning might have some problems with the cap, with the salary cap. But, that's something for them to worry about in the offseason. They have to first worry about going out there and winning Game 4. So that is your sports, and it is 7:20. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to talk a little bit about the 4th of July. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
Hi, this is Ray Brown, inviting you to tune in to Talkin' Birds, a show about wild birds, birding, and conservation, right here on WVBF, broadcasting from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church Green. Join us for informative interviews and fun information about birds and birding. It's Talkin' Birds, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9, here on WVBF, AM 1530 and 99.7 FM.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Hi, this is Jim Larkin. Hope you can join me every
That's
Sunday
nice.
from noon to 2 o'clock here on WVBF, The Sounds of the Emerald
Fun.
Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary, and sometimes
Documents,
some live
yeah.
singers in the studio. And to make you laugh,
Stu.
some Irish comedy.
It's a couple of
Sunday
4th of
from noon to
July
2 right here on WVBF,
day in histories we can talk about.
1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
3, 2, 0, enter. Alright. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review for the 4th of July, 2021. So today is the 4th of July, the 245th birthday of America. This is the day that we declared our independence from Britain, from the country of Britain. And I believe August 2nd is when we signed it fully and got it all ratified, got it all done. But July 4th is widely known as Independence Day. We declare our independence from Britain on this day here on July 4th. Don, some of your thoughts on July 4th and what it means to you.
This is the best country in the world. I am so privileged to be in this country and live in this country. I've had my uncle Pat. He died in Korea, second tour. He died in this country. Your grandfather, Jack. He was in the Air Force. He was in the service. My father was in the Army. There's so many people out there who's fought and died for this country. And I only respect every square foot of this, every square inch of this. I'll defend every square inch of this. If they needed me to, if I needed to be. It's just so privileged to live here. And I love the flag. I love everything about this country. And I mean, it's working democracy. I don't know. It's just, we can be free. You can have someone come in here and dream. You can dream in this country. Look at you. You get your own show. 22 years old, you get your own show. Okay, so what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You work hard and you're a good person. Everything's fit right in. But yeah, 245 years old. I mean, when I was younger, I remember the 200th, the bicentennial, 200 years in 1976. That was a big deal. And another 5 years, it's gonna be 250.
Yeah, and 2026.
And one other tidbit too. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson died on the same day.
Yeah, and that is I have that as one
right
of my.
In 1826, it was the 50th anniversary of the. They died on July 4th.
Yes.
1826, within hours of each other.
Yes, so 1826, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, respectively the second and third presidents of the United States, died on the same day, on the 5th anniversary of the adoption of the on the 50th. 50th anniversary of the adoption of the United States Declaration of Independence.
Yep.
Adams' last words were, Thomas Jefferson lives. However, it is, I think, widely known that Thomas Jefferson had passed away before John Adams passed away.
Right. And John Adams John Adams' house is in Quincy on Adams Street. That big property there. So I mean, Quincy is a really historical for the Adams. They have the only place I think in the United States where two presidents and two wives are buried. The two first ladies are buried next to each other in the church there, in the center, in the basement. So I mean, that's pretty significant too.
And Monticello is a very significant piece of U.S. history.
Right, in Virginia, right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, I mean, and they were just so far away. I think maybe Jefferson died in Virginia, and assuming, I think Adams died in Massachusetts, or in Quincy, at his home.
Other important things. Another iconic symbol of this area is the Erie Canal. The Erie Canal began construction in 1817 on this day in Rome, New York. A little bit about the Erie Canal, Don.
I scouted it out back in 2001. I wanted to boat it. I did the Champlain Canal in 1998. Went from New York City up to Crown Point, New York, in a boat. It was like 3 days. It was a great adventure. And the Erie Canal, what's there now is called the Barge Canal. It was built in 1917. I mean, they've made it wider and they kind of used the original river routes. But the Erie Canal was pretty much its own ditch. It was 30 feet. Was it 30 feet deep? Yeah, 30 feet deep, and I'm not sure how wide it was, but that pretty much opened up the Midwest pretty much to commerce. And that's one of the reasons why Massachusetts and Boston was feeling the heat, because I think they finished it in 1825, I believe, the Erie Canal. So it didn't really take too long to build it. So Boston was becoming pretty much wasn't really in the picture, because New York blew up as far as it really came to be a huge city since the Erie Canal was put in, because all the goods could come from upstate New York, from the Midwest, using the Great Lakes, and Boston was like almost cut out of the loop. And Providence and Worcester were doing well too when they built the Blackstone Canal up through there. So that's why they built the railroad, one of the first mountain railroads, not to get off the track, but they wanted to run the trains from Boston to Albany. Albany, and so they could get into some of that Erie Canal business too. And it was the first, and over the Berkshires, Southern Berkshires Railroad, which was the Boston and Maine, was the first mountain railroad in the United States, in the world, actually in the world. I mean, people came from Russia and other parts of Europe to see the engineering feats of that time, and it was completed around 1845. So that's pretty good.
If you want to give us a call, tell us a little bit about your 4th of July plans or what 4th of July means to you. The number is 508-822-1106. Again, the number 508-822-1106. That is the number to call us and to be on the show today.
I say Erie Canal is everything Americana as far as the United States is involved, because it was pretty much the first highway.
Yeah.
In retrospect, it was before the railroad, and it was so long. It was like almost 300, over 300 miles. So there is an old song, the Airy Canal, low bridge, we're coming to a town,
Yep.
I have a mule, his name is Sal. It's just, and it's funny too, because I was looking through YouTube, and Bruce Springsteen does that cover. He does that song. He has horn sections, and it's awesome. So if you type in the Erie Canal song, Bruce Springsteen, it'll pop up. And he does a bunch of other stuff too. I think he does a lot of Pete Seeger stuff, which is cool, because that's all that, early, and maybe a Woody Guthrie song he does too. So I mean, it's all Americana. The railroads, the canals, they all mix together. Even the ships, the schooners going down. I mean, years ago, if you wanted to go to, you had to go around the Cape Cod. So it was quicker to take, go through the Blackstone Canal from, Worcester to Providence, and then right there, they wouldn't jump on ships. But if you had to leave Boston, it was before the Cape Cod Canal, you had to go all the way around Cape Cod. And that was a pretty treacherous voyage.
Let's switch gears a little bit to 4th of July music. Don, what are some of your favorite 4th of July songs?
Oh, I mean, Stars and Stripes Forever. The Star Spangled Banner. He started all the show with that. I mean, you play it every Sunday, which is good. Not many radio stations do it. I'm not sure we do it. I mean, you make a conscious effort to play it, so that's good. Pretty much all the oldies. You know what I mean?
There is some little unknown songs as well. This song's a little bit more well known. It's Neil Young, "Come Into America."
Yes.
A lot of people know that song, and it's a
song.
great song. Johnny Cash's "Ragged Old Flag" is an
song.
amazing song as well.
Yeah.
And there's just so many other. There's a lot of artists have put out some really great 4th of July.
There's another song by Charlie Daniels called "In America." It's great. And then "Let Freedom Ring" was another song which came off the 1982 Renegade album, which was great. I love that album. I love Charlie Daniels. He's everything Americana too. But I mean, from the South to Northern, that's what makes this country together, because every part of this country is so different.
Yeah.
We may have our squabbles and stuff, but at the end of the day, we're united. And sometimes, the news, the main news, in my opinion, a lot of it, they want to try to separate us. They want to try to divide us, and I don't think we're having it. I mean, I don't know. During all that protests and everything that happened last year, I've never ran into anybody who, I don't know. I never had any problem with that. I don't have any problems with anybody. Everyone's pretty nice.
I'm looking at the Facebook comments here. Scott from Georgia, he's telling us Jim Croce, "Railroads and Riverboats."
Yes, that's another great song. That's pretty much the fabric of the America. The railroads built this country, the canals. So that's that. I mean, most of the textile and manufacturing was up here in Massachusetts during the war.
Another iconic building and institution, and another very important part of history is West Point in New York, the United States Military Academy. It opened in 1802 on July 4th. It's very important. There was important to the military as well. Very important to the military. And there's some other things that it does as well. It has sports. I'm into sports. It has some sports. Basketball, football. I think no football. I don't know. I think it might have basketball. Might have football. I know it has probably a couple of sports teams as well. So West Point is a very important part of U.S. history.
You know,
as well.
West Point into play as far as why I was put there at that point in New York on the Hudson River. The strategic importance of it, because the river kind of winds around. It's narrow, and you could it was a high elevation as far as on the banks. I mean, there's some cliffs there or whatnot, and you could see any British ships that come in there, and you can pretty much take them out with cannons because it was so narrow. That's why it was such an important spot. It was one of the most strategic spots because you were high up, high up, and plus you can look over any ships going down. So anybody going through there was the gauntlet back then. If a British ship tried to head up to Albany or vice versa down to New York, they're toast.
Yep.
As long as you control those heights, nothing was getting by if you had cannons up there, and that was just a good spot.
The famous Army versus Navy football game. And it's not just football. I mean, Army and Navy, they face off in any kind of sport as well. That is a big rivalry in sports. One of the biggest iconic rivalries in America is Army versus Navy. They have the football game every year. I think it happens in January. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it happens either January or December. I think it's December. And, yes, that is always a really great football game. Always a great football game. I think it happens in December. Let me check that. Might be wrong. Army versus Navy. Yeah, it happens in December.
Okay.
December 11th this year. December 11th, 2021. That will take place at 3 p.m.
And they alternate spots between Annapolis and West Point?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe they do. So yeah, that's another big important thing as well in history, in United States history, is that rivalry.
We could stay here to like midnight and talk about everything that's great about this country.
Another important day in history is in the American Civil War, the Army of Northern Virginia withdraws from the battlefield after losing the Battle of Gettysburg, signaling an end to the Confederate invasion of U.S. territory. Another important day in United States history. The Battle of Gettysburg ends pretty much on this day. Another important day in sports history is July 4th, 1939. Lou Gehrig, who was recently diagnosed with ALS, informs a crowd at Yankee Stadium that he considers himself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Then announces his retirement from Major League Baseball. He came down with ALS, which is a very vicious disease, and he ended up passing away from it. Since then, we have tried to make research developments into ALS, looking into it, and we have made some movements on it as well in the past 80 years that we we have known that this disease has existed. We've probably known a little bit longer than 80 years that this disease has existed, but Lou Gehrig, one of the first high-profile people to get this disease, he retires from baseball in 1939, July 4th. And one other thing that we're going to talk about today in our next segment is the events of July 4th, 1976. Israeli commandos raid Entebbe Airport in Uganda, rescuing all but 4 of the passengers and crew of an Air France jetliner seized by Palestinian terrorists. We're going to talk about this event, the raid on Entebbe, which happened July 4th, 1976, and we are going to talk about that more in detail when we come back from this commercial break. It is 7:42 a.m., and we'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review.
Specializing in septic repair, new system installations, and all Title V needs. Excavation and retaining walls are their specialty. They service all of Bridgewater and the South Coast. To contact them, call 508-735-7966 or email tjdiggs@gmail.com.
Got a timeline here.
You will not be disappointed.
All right.
I love the music for that.
So I have a little bit of a timeline here that goes over some of the events.
For what?
For the raid on Entebbe, the entire week, and we'll just talk about it.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's probably all you get time for.
Yeah.
But it's okay to have questions. Like, how were the vaccines tested? In rigorous clinical trials among adults of diverse backgrounds. Can the vaccines give you COVID-19? You cannot get COVID-19 from a vaccine. Why should I get vaccinated? Protecting yourself also helps protect the people around you.
It's Ben Gurion.
Find the latest
Yeah,
information
Ben Gurion Airport. I'm trying to make sure that I say that correctly. Ben Gurion Airport. Yeah, I think I'm saying that right.
Ben Gurion,
Yeah.
The towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in
Should I say some of the names of the
At this time, we serve
terrorists? Is that important
families
I want
to it?
I wouldn't.
To this? No.
You can't say it. I'll just say you put terrorists.
This can take many
Yeah.
forms.
I mean, you could fudge that. You can cut that in half. You don't have to.
Utilities,
Yeah. I don't know if that's important to the
agency referrals,
to the topic because.
Yeah, I don't think so.
and
Alright.
temporary
Just a brief description. We're not really
location. Go to
doing an hour show on it. You know?
No, we're not. Yeah. All right.
Middleboro.
All right.
Just a brief description and any words. I wouldn't say terrorists. I wouldn't get too hung up on words you don't know.
Nah.
Ben Gurion. Ben
Yeah.
Gurion's fine. Yep.
Yeah. Ben Gurion. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Gurion.
Yeah.
He was the first prime minister of Israel.
Our mission is to
Yeah.
support those who
Okay.
have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal
Yeah. I'll just say hijackers.
and guidance.
I won't say terrorists. I'll say hijackers.
Welcome home.
That's fine too.
Yeah, hijackers is
All
fine.
50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving
And then
in
a
combat
little
areas.
round table discussion for about 5 minutes, but don't get too caught up on that. And
Yeah.
talk about it and
Yeah.
Motorcycle-related
Yep.
charity
I'll just say some of the important events.
That's it.
nonprofit
Yeah.
14-0.
7:47.
This last commercial, can you go back on?
veteran
Yep.
charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support
8:59 a.m. I don't know if these must all be in
2-2
United States time. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
Combat
Wait,
Veteran
what?
Motorcycle Association.
These times here that they have here, they must be in like either United States time or Israeli time. I'm not.
What
Oh,
time?
Our mission is
did I
to
play
You
it?
play, yeah, you played again.
defend our country
Whatever.
and freedoms.
Alright.
Our focus is to help
My bad.
care facilities.
Okay.
You played it last time. So I built the first.
Shelter.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
I know.
I want an
To
accent.
say thank you and
No, I'm not gonna.
Well, you know what? Well, it's a patriotic thing, so
Yep.
might as well do it.
Might as well do it 3 times.
Well, you didn't. This is only 2.
With several serving in combat areas now.
No, it's not. It's 3. I did play it 3 times. Yeah.
Motorcycle-related charities
My bad.
each
Nope,
year.
nope. It's okay.
As a nonprofit
I'm not gonna say anything.
organization,
I'm not gonna say anything. Just move on.
Well, you didn't play it back to back though,
The
did you?
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association.
Yeah, I think I hit it twice.
You can join
Back to
or
back?
support.
Yeah.
Please visit cvma2-2.org.
It's okay. Moving on. Alright.
Worse than scratching it, scratching the record, you know, in between, it's the worst.
Mm.
When we used to do songs, we always play it through.
Yeah. And we are back here on Middleboro in review. Today is July 4th, 2021. 7:48 a.m. now. So we have about 12 minutes left on the show. The last topic I want to talk about today is the raid on Entebbe, Uganda. Took place from June 27th to July 4th, with the raid itself taking place on July the 4th. So I have a timeline.
Right, 1976.
1976, yes. I have a timeline here. I'm going to go over some of the events here on this timeline. So Sunday, June 27th at 8:59 a.m., Air France 139 departs Ben Gurion Airport en route to Paris via Athens with 246 passengers, including 77 Israeli nationals. At 12:28 p.m. the same day, 4 Arab hijackers take control of the aircraft. The next day, Flight 139 lands in Entebbe, Uganda, and also at daybreak, several of the hijackers, as well as Ugandan soldiers, appear on the runway at Entebbe, Uganda, the airport. Idi Amin, who is the leader of Uganda, joins them. The next day at 5 p.m., terrorists, the hijackers, issue a list of prisoners held in Israel, France, Germany, Switzerland, and Kenya, whose releases they demand in exchange for the safe release of the hostages. On the next day, 47 non-Israeli hostages herded aboard the airplane to be returned to Paris. In the hours after their release, these 47 people provide essential information on the number of hijackers, location of the hostages, and the number of Ugandans surrounding the airport. On the 1st of July at 9 a.m., the Israeli cabinet votes unanimously on negotiating for the release of hostages as a tactic to gain time. And on July 2nd, the Israeli Defense Force, the IDF, spends the entire day planning and rehearsing their rescue mission. Saturday, July 3rd, 11 a.m., Israeli government votes for the use of a military rescue operation. Even before the final unanimous vote in favor, IDF planes have already left. Only 30 seconds behind schedule, the first IDF plane lands at Entebbe, and the rescue operation begins. This is July 3rd at 11:01 p.m. Colonel Netanyahu, Yoni Netanyahu, the commander of the operation, is shot in the back from the old control tower He had remained outside the building to supervise all 3 assault teams. 11:52 p.m., the plane carrying rescue hostages takes off at the airfield. IDF fires into 7 Ugandan Air Force MiGs, destroying possibility of pursuit. And finally, at 12:40 a.m. on July 4th, the last IDF plane leaves Entebbe, and in the mid-morning, the plane with the rescue hostages touches down at Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. So that is a timeline of the events of the raid in Entebbe and the events preceding that. So Don, thoughts?
It was one of the most daring raids ever, and like you said, the cabinet, the Israeli parliament, were debating it, and they were already on their way. So I mean, they were almost to the point of no return as far as we need an answer now, or the planes have to turn back, to get home. And they weren't sure where they're going to stop for fuel. And at the end, right at the end of it all, at the last moment, Kenya agreed but their plan was to, when they land their planes, they were going to load all their fuel up off the Ugandan fuel depot. They would have been on the ground a lot longer, fueling those planes up. They had a couple other planes that were aloft, which I think had better fuel range than the Hercules, and those pretty much had everything. They had 2 Range Rovers and a limousine, which they drove on the tarmac to fool the Ugandan soldiers that was Idi Amin's caravan. But they lost the element of surprise, I guess, when they went through the first checkpoint. I guess one of the Ugandan soldiers knew, this is something I found out recently. One of the Ugandan soldiers knew that Idi Amin's limo was white now for some reason. They didn't know that. They just got an old Mercedes-Benz and put Ugandan flags on it.
Yep.
But it was brazen, and it was something that they had to do because they really didn't have any friends in the area, as far as and Kenya. That was surprising that they let them, because I think there was some reprisals of Kenyan citizens in Uganda after that too. And there was a woman too, and I forgot her name. She was sick, and she was taken to a Ugandan hospital. I mean, a Tebi hospital. Prior to that, and then when the British mission went to look for him or whatever, the diplomats, she just spared. So obviously she was killed, which was unfortunate. But they saved a lot of lives, and I don't know, it was pretty. Have it happen on the 4th of July. I mean, in 1976, this country was celebrating its bicentennial, 200 years, and then we hear about this. So
yeah. All right, we have 5 minutes left here, a little less than that. Let's go over some birthdays. We have a couple of birthdays, some pretty important ones. 1872, Calvin Coolidge is born. He's an American lawyer, politician. He was the 30th president of the United States.
You know Calvin Coolidge was a governor?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was governor. And he was mayor of, I believe, Northampton, Massachusetts. And he was in Vermont when President Harding died. And I believe that he was sworn in by a justice of the peace in Vermont, somewhere in Vermont. And then I guess they had to do it again. But at that point in time, he was sworn in as president by a justice of peace up in Vermont. And I guess when he gets to Washington, I guess, the Supreme Court justice swore him in. But technically, that was...
Ulysses S. Grant III, born on this day in 1881, American general, obviously related to Ulysses S. Grant. And we have 2 deaths to report on for July 4th. And 1831 on July 4th, James Monroe, the other president who passed away on July the 4th.
I didn't know
James Monroe in 1831. He was an American soldier, lawyer, and politician. He was the 5th president of the United States. We also had a vice president pass away on July the 4th in 1891, and that was Hannibal Hamlin, American lawyer and politician. He was the 15th vice president of the United States under Don.
I don't know. 1881?
Yes.
No,
well.
Oh, he died.
1890 when he died.
Oh, he died.
In 1890.
You know what? I know my presidents. I don't know my vice president. Who was he under?
I actually don't know that either. So let me.
That's the thing. People
quickly look that up.
You know, people know their presidents. It's fine if you know. But I'd be real impressed if you knew your vice presidents.
Yes, when it comes to vice presidents, I have a hard time.
In my lifetime, maybe up from, you know what I'm saying? See, you're looking and...
Vice President to Abraham Lincoln.
First or second term?
And that
obviously
was...
his first term. Because Johnson was his
first
second.
Term.
Yeah, because Johnson was his second because he became president. We all know Andrew Johnson. He was, you know, when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in 1865. So it was his first term. All right. I guess that was Lincoln's thinking when it came to finding a vice president for a second term to get somebody who was Southerner.
Mm-hmm.
But he remained loyal. He was a Tennessee senator, Andrew Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And he remained loyal to the Union, so he was technically a senator in exile because he's going to go back to Tennessee during the war, but technically he had voting rights and all that as a senator, and he took Andrew Johnson, so that's good. So it's all July 4th deaths, huh?
Yes, and birthdays and all the today in history we went throughout the show.
Yeah.
All right, it is 7:59, so the last minute, I just want to say... I hope everyone has a great 4th of July. Stay safe out there. Be smart with fireworks.
Yeah, but they're illegal in Massachusetts, so you're not supposed to.
Yes, so do not do anything with fireworks.
In Massachusetts.
They are illegal.
Yeah, they are illegal.
Yes, so do not do anything with them.
I didn't hear much last night either at home, but it was wet. I think that
don't end up in jail because of fireworks.
No, don't end up with a lost eye and a broken thumb. You know,
yeah,
blown up thumb.
There is horror stories with that too, and
you know what?
Yes, but they are illegal in the state.
I guess there's reasons why it's illegal in Massachusetts because it's such a big population, but they probably look at the rap sheet as far as accidents.
Mm-hmm.
People who aren't smart. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I mean, we got this big rap sheet. And we got much more population than in New Hampshire and other states that, you know, it's legal or whatnot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't be blowing off fireworks in densely populated areas.
No.
And then having all the embers fall on someone's roof and burn them out. I mean, it's all fun and games, but, you know, if you took somebody who was blowing off fireworks and you made them read all these logs about fires and people getting their fingers blown off and their eyes blown off and ended up in the hospital and they didn't read it all, they'd probably think twice.
Yes. All right, so it is 8 o'clock. We will be back next week, July 11th, 2021, for another edition of Middleboro in Review. Have a great week, everybody.
Happy 4th, everybody.
Yeah, don't be, careless with fireworks. Do not break the law.
Yeah, we have to say that. We can't say,
yeah, don't break the law. Alright, so that's it.
Broadcast Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I was gonna say that. Don't break the law and everything else. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But people need to know that
Yep.
that's dangerous. No. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right.
USA Radio News with Dan Naraki.
At least 200 U.S. companies were the victim of a ransomware attack on Friday, targeting the networks of small businesses. Cybersecurity experts say the attack was focused on a company that supplies network software to spread the malicious software. A criminal group based in Russia is being blamed for the attack, the same group that's believed to have perpetrated the attack on meat supplier JBS earlier this year. President Biden told reporters Saturday in Michigan that the U.S. would retaliate if the Russians are found to be involved.
What happened?
I don't know. Alright. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for listening to the July 4th edition of Middleboro Review, and be back next week, July 11th, 2021.